It's kind of diabolical. And Gayla, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10. Christina, thank you so much for the dollar. Thank you, thank you. I'm so sorry, everyone. Sandra, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sandra. DJ, thank you for the Galaxy. Thank you for the Little Crown as well. If you want to support me as always, again, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio as well as the description of YouTube. If you're on YouTube, everyone, I'd really appreciate if you like the stream. Seriously, it helps send it out more. I don't know how it is in terms of like separating the lives. I don't know if it'd be bad for like the push on the streams. I assume that it's not going to be like harmful, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming through. I posted 2 videos today. One just posted right now, by the way. One just posted right now. It was that one guy that told me to get a job but then didn't have a job himself.
There we go.
Oh, wait. Why does it say live? Oh, there we go. We're good. What's up? What's up?
There we go. How's it going?
Going good. I just uploaded a video. I was telling the chat of a guy who
Hello?
oh, they're totally a
Christ,
fetus. Who is jobless and in college and not working during the summer and then telling everyone else to get a job. And if they don't get a job, they can't get Medicaid and food stamps. And I was like, how are you going to tell people to get a job if you don't have a job yourself? And you're like not working. That's like so diabolical.
It's ironic, I know.
Kelly, thank you so much for this one. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's go on to the next person here. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
Hello? Hello? Would you like to buy some Boy Scout cookies?
Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone.
I am going to be addressing the rumours about a video I made in which
This is a video. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what? Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Just looking for some debates. So please, everyone, only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I am 22.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
Why so?
We do not have a causal obligation to illegal immigrants or at the same time asylum seekers. It's not our fault that your country's going to hell.
Oh, okay. I have a question. Do you think immigrants are beneficial to our economy?
Yeah, I do not care. We do not have a causal obligation to them. With the action of them infringing upon people's negative rights to private property and the taxations that we are using like New York, California to house them, give them food, everything like this, resources. This is going to be a moral action. We should deport them.
Yeah, so the United States as a country, right, that's not private property. So like
Yes,
actually if you believe in a free market completely, well then you wouldn't want a restriction of the free market in terms of people going from one area to another area, because that would be a restriction on the free market.
Wait, can anyone come to the United States? So like if Putin wanted to come to the United States right now, could he?
That would be under your worldview, not mine.
Yeah, I would have no problem with this action taking place. But if we're going with the action of people infringing upon people's rights to the private property, the NAP, I would just say that we do not have a causal obligation to them.
Wait, how exactly are they infringing on private property?
Yeah, I would just say with the taxation that's actively being used, this is going to be...
That's not how does that infringe on private property rights?
Yeah, I would just say that when it comes to private property, anything that you self-govern or at the same time have, so when they're crossing the border...
I didn't ask you to define it. I'm asking how they infringe upon private property
I would just
rights.
say I would just say with the active where they aren't passing through checkpoints and they're going through private property.
How did they go through private property?
Yeah, when they cross the border, instead of going through the right
That's
checkpoint.
not private property.
Yeah, if you look at the border, typically this is still going to be kind of private property of the United States. This isn't
private property. What? That's not how that works.
It is private property. It's not going to be self-governed by anyone. Can any person come over the border straight up without having a passport or anything?
Yeah, usually they can.
Okay, cool. Does that make them from that country?
What? From what country?
United States. Let's just say someone from Mexico. If they cross the border into the United States, should they have like the moral?
Well, you never specified whether or not they're migrant or not.
Cool.
You just said, can people cross the border?
Illegal immigrants. If we want to be precise with my words, since we're going to play antics. Okay, so anyone that crosses the border illegally from
a country by definition is not private property, like as defined by capitalists themselves. They don't define it as private property. You can keep trying to say that yourself, but that's just ridiculous because it's not exclusive control by private industries or private agents. It's a public government. Because given that same definition, they'd be arguing that central planning is free market.
Okay.
Is he gonna
I
unmute?
don't know what happened to him.
What
Yeah,
happened?
I don't know.
It says like it's not muting him. It's like glitched.
And he muted himself.
I think he has to unmute himself, and he won't.
Wonder how this argument extends to things like temporary protected status and refugees, people who are directly harmed from U.S. policy seeking refuge.
Happy days. You can leave the live and come back and join the guest box. I'll try to add you up. I'm the Beard. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. By the way, everyone, for you people on the TikTok stream, I recommend to go over to YouTube and like the stream. Everyone, it helps send it out to more people. I would very much appreciate that. If you want to support us, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of YouTube. Alrighty, everyone. Alrighty. Alright, let me see if I can find them in the box. There he is.
Okay, so if you're going to classify it as other people's subjective definition, I'm just going to say that's appealing to authority.
Well,
which
all
really-
definitions are subjective.
Yeah, and then you're going to have to argue the point of the situation. I'm going to say that anything is going to be private property to like the group of people or the person that owns this. For America, it's gonna be everyone-
America isn't owned by a person.
Yeah, I would just say that it's owned by people. We can be able to look at the situation of homesteading. Multiple people can do this action. It doesn't give the rights for other people to come in and infringe upon them. This is the same situation.
If one of the people that
Wait,
I have a question. I have a question. If we if I live in like an apartment with people, 3 different people own this apartment. I'm one of the owners of the apartment, and I invite someone over. Is that person trespassing if 2 other people don't want them there?
Wait, you're saying that you own this apartment. Is it equally across the board for everyone?
Yes.
And there's not one person at the high point like Donald Trump?
What do you mean at the high point? I'm just saying that as a person.
So if we're talking as the person that owns the building, so in this analogy that you would have to have someone at the tippy, which this would be President Trump. So unless if you're the person at the top making the situation at that point, then I would just say, no, you wouldn't be able to do this action.
Okay, so you have to be at the person at the top in order to be able to verify whether or not people should be allowed in the country.
Jesus
So I have a question.
Christ.
Who determines whether or not someone has legal status in the country? The President of the United States?
Yeah, I don't care about the legal status.
or the
because we're talking
judicial.
about the moral- Yeah, I'm talking about the
You're
moral
appealing to
situation.
legality right
Is
now.
it
No,
ju-
wait,
no. I need
I've
I
always
need him to
appealed to
clarify
moral.
this because this is an incredibly important point. Who determines the legal status of an individual? The executive or the judicial?
Yeah, it's going to be the Supreme. I do not care.
So the judicial. So if the judicial determines who's a citizen, well then the 14th Amendment's totally justified.
Yeah, checks and balance. Wait, when we talk about the checks and balance here, who's going to be able to put the Supreme Court into place? Trump can very much veto a situation from the Supreme Court, but I'm not.
No,
arguing
he can't. Stop.
That makes
I know
no
you
sense.
you brushed up well in your philosophy, but
Wait,
apparently
no,
government
no,
is
no,
not
hold
your
up a
strong
second.
suit. He cannot veto a Supreme Court
Yes,
decision.
he can because
No,
if
he
it's gonna
cannot.
take-
How
it
can he
takes
usurp a
2/3.
Supreme Court injunction?
It takes 2/3 to be able to override Trump. This is going to be the checks and balance when it comes to.
You cannot veto a Supreme Court injunction.
I'm talking about the Supreme Court. I'm not.
I know.
talking
That's what I just said. A Supreme
When
Court
it comes-
injunction. You cannot veto that.
When it comes
You
to the
think
Supreme
it's
Court,
like the legislative branch?
no. Even with that, I do not care about the legal. I'm only staying to the morals. You're trying to move the goalposts.
So then who determines the legal status of an individual?
Yeah,
Are you
I don't
saying-
care about the legal. I'm talking about the moral here. We do not have a causal obligation.
Wait,
to
we're
them
talking.
acting-
Wait, we're talking about the legal. I don't know what you're talking about. We're
Wait,
talking
if you're
about.
talking about the legal, are you going to appeal to legality across the board?
No, we're saying when we're referencing
Okay, cool.
politics. When we're referencing
No,
politics,
I don't care.
shut the
because
fuck
if we're
up.
talking-
When we're referencing politics about immigration, we're talking about how the law should be, right, or how the law should be set up, right, in terms of how we should treat people who are coming to the
And
country.
if the
and
law
are
was
immigrants.
immoral, would we abide by it?
No, obviously not. That's why
Okay, cool. So then don't appeal to legality because we can look
I'm not appealing to the current legal.
at how it is. I'm saying.
No, I'm not appealing to the current
I'm
legal.
saying how.
Shut the fuck up, you idiot. I'm not appealing to the current legal constructions that exist. I'm appealing to my understanding of what I think the law should look like.
So an odd statement, right?
Okay, so then I would just say that if we want to do odd statement, how it ought to be is if they want to be able to come into this country, whatever country they're coming from, they need to fill out the paperwork and instead of just crossing the border at random locations, because we do not have a causal obligation to them.
Okay. I don't know what causal obligation under this
Inherently
notion
causing
is.
someone to be
I
dependent.
understand. I understand what causal obligation is. That's not what I was saying. Can you be quiet and listen to what I'm saying before you speak over me?
I mean, you've been muting people. Talk.
Do we have a
Because
causal
this
obligation over
conversation-
U.S. citizens?
Yeah, I would just say that people that actively live in the United States that has citizenship, we would have a causal obligation. But when it comes to random people from, let's just say, Gaza, Ukraine, other
That's fine. I just wanted the first
No.
part of that answer there. What exactly is the line of distinction here between U.S. citizens having a causal obligation versus migrants?
Yeah, migrants haven't went through some process, and if we're going to go into like the philosophical, I would just say how it ought to be is going to be them filling out paperwork.
You're not
before-
answering my question. I'm asking
Yes,
what
I
makes
am.
that distinction.
Yeah, I would just say typically either birthright or like how it ought to be is going to be some type of proof that they went through like some type of way of becoming a citizen.
Okay, so merely being born within U.S. borders gives them a right to causal obligation. We put
Yep.
them in a state of dependency.
I would just say that unless if their parents did the immoral action of crossing the border, then at that point it would be the parents' responsibilities.
But if the kid is a U.S. citizen?
Yeah, I would just say if the parents did the immoral action of crossing the border without going through how it ought to be, I would
asked
just
about
say
the kid,
that,
though.
Yeah,
If
I
the
would just
kid
say
is
that
a
the
US
kid,
citizen?
yeah, the kid wouldn't have citizenship.
Are you saying they shouldn't have citizenship? I mean, they
Yeah,
already
they
do.
would.
They have
Yeah,
birthright citizenship.
I'm
Are you
saying they
arguing that they
shouldn't.
shouldn't have that?
Yeah, they shouldn't.
But then that kind of renders your argument useless
Nope.
that being born in the United States grants you the right to causal
No, because
obligation.
their parents did an immoral action, and moral action does not succeed a
But
neutral
you're
action.
probably pro-life, right?
Yes, I am.
And you're saying that we shouldn't punish fetuses based on the actions of their parents, but in this case, we should when it comes
Unless
to
if it
U.S.
comes
born
to,
children,
wait,
right?
Unless if it comes to essay or if the mother's
Wait,
life.
no, make that make sense because now your argument,
Yes.
now your morality has been warped useless. You're
No,
saying that
it's
somehow in this instance, causal obligation is granted towards a fetus, but not a child of migrants born within U.S.
Yes,
borders.
I would just say that we wouldn't be able to infringe upon like the child by keeping them here. We would just send
Okay,
them
great.
back
So
with
what
them.
is the distinction between a child who is born to U.S. parents versus a child born to migrant parents in the United States?
Yeah, the migrant parents, they go through the right process.
But you're saying that we shouldn't punish the child based on
Wait,
the parents'
I'm saying-
actions. Why
wait,
is that
I'm-
not? Why is that not a universal truth as it relates to
Jaden,
abortion?
it's a universal truth because if
Excuse
we're
me,
talking,
but it's not because you say that
Wait,
we
let me
should
explain
punish
it to
children
you.
based on the
Wait.
parents' actions.
Let me explain it to you. So if
Try
the
to.
if the parents did an immoral action by crossing the border, then at this point we would have no problem with sending back the whole family to their home country. If we're
Great.
talking about American citizens, this is going to be where they cause them to be in the state of dependence, where we have a moral obligation to them, or at least our government, to the certain sense of not infringing upon them. Do you understand this, or do you want me to dumb this down for you?
Can you smarten it up for me? Because
Oh,
as it
okay,
relates
I'll
to
smarten it,
abortion, your
yeah.
argument is inconsistent.
Wait, no, it's going to be very consistent because if the
No,
parents
it's not.
consent, if the parents consent to the initial action, they have the moral obligation to them. It's going to be the causal act.
Okay, so if they consent to the abortion, then they have the right to it. Then,
Wait,
yes?
then it's going to be a moral action versus a neutral act. And
Why?
moral
But they
is not-
consented to
yeah,
getting
I
an
would just say-
abortion.
Yeah, I would just say that with them causing someone to be in a state of dependence at conception, the act that is taking place, they are
You can't
infringing-
consent to conception.
Yeah, I would just say with them consenting to having intercourse, they understand and acknowledge that there's this outcome.
Now we're
that
in an
can take
abortion
place.
conversation. Can you consent to biological processes?
Yeah, I would just say with you consenting to the action, you are consenting and acknowledging that the outcome can take place.
Okay, does that negate your rights to usurp said outcome?
Define that.
As in, are you somehow denied rights fundamentally, morally, legally, or what have you, whatever your argument may be, just because you consented to a biological process knowing the outcome?
Yeah, I would
knowing
just say if you
potential
cause someone.
outcomes.
Yeah, I would just say if you cause someone to be in a state of dependence, then at that point you wouldn't be able to like.
No, I'm not asking about a point of dependence here. I'm just asking
Yep.
across the board here as it relates
Yeah,
to
I would just
biological
say if you have
processes.
caused someone, if you have caused someone to be in a state of dependence, like any actions that you have consented to, then at that point, yes, you're going to have to not be able to infringe upon their negative rights to their private property since you've caused them to be in the state of dependence.
I'd say that they're infringing upon your rights to property.
Wait,
I mean, you own your
who's
body.
the one that, yeah, I would
Your
just
body
say
is
you
yours,
own your
right?
body.
And it's an
Yeah, you
infringement if
own your
somebody
body.
else's. Excuse me.
You own your body, but you cause them to be in a state of dependence based off your action.
Right, and you can cause them to be undependent, right?
Wait, you would have to have someone else to take that causal obligation away from you. So if I
No, you wouldn't.
Yes. I
Yeah,
would
the
just say-
abortion doctor does.
Wait, hold up a second, Jaden. So if you're driving a car, you hit or just some random person, is it justified for you to just drive off? Or would
Well,
you have
according to you, they should have understood the risk of them being on the sidewalk, that there may have been a 50-50 chance of them either being struck or them being perfectly unharmed.
Wait, no, so even if there's a situation, you acknowledge that this outcome takes place, and then at that point, when it comes to this situation, let's just say this random person gets hit, you have to call 911 because you caused them to be in a state of dependence. This
Go
is
ahead,
a call
Parker.
to act.
Parker?
Yeah, so I was gonna ask him this question because I wanted to originally get back to like the point that he was bringing up because he just randomly brought up causal obligation in a conversation where we're talking. Can you shut the fuck up, man? When we're talking about immigration,
Guys, more, you lost against the Crucible. Next.
why'd you just randomly say that? I'm trying to like let you engage in a dialogue with me on like what we were talking about because we got off track, and I'm trying to get you back to that.
Wait, causal obligation is going to be a part of my argument. Trump is advocating for more ICE to get rid of illegal immigrants, which I have no problem with.
Okay, so like I'm not saying that we have like some sort of like moral obligation to like allow people into the country.
Okay.
That's not the argument that I'm making at all. The argument that I'm making.
Yeah, I don't care. You're supposed to be attacking my arguments. Typically, when it comes to the situation, you ask the person why they believe this way. So unless if you want to go against my argument, then at that point I would just say that.
Do I need to mute you like every single time I speak? Just a real question. Is that something I have to do? Can you just answer the question and let me know?
You said you wanted to use your argument instead of going against my argument.
Is it possible you could let me speak, or are we not going to be able to do that?
Yeah.
Just a real question.
Yeah, I said yes.
Okay, great. So in terms of immigration, right, the argument that I'm making isn't about causal obligation. The argument that I'm making in terms of access to like the context of immigration, I'm not saying we have some sort of moral obligation. I'm saying that it makes our country better off in terms of our culture. It makes our country better off economically speaking. And there's no right to restrict people from coming to the country. I think that restricting the free flow of labor of people between areas would typically provide reason. You would need reason to restrict people in that type of context. If you don't have reason, then I would say, why should they be restricted? So given that like people couldn't provide a reason, in my eyes, that I would see to be good, right? In terms of deporting people who haven't committed violent crimes or bad crimes, I see no reason as to why they shouldn't be given a legal process of citizenship, right, while they are able to stay in the country. I see no reason why not, because our current legal processes take too long for people to get into the country.
Wait, let's go back to the situation of restrictions, be able to stop someone's restrictions. If you own a property, do you believe that you should be able to restrict other people from coming onto your private property?
You don't believe that, though.
Yeah, so
yes, I do. I would just
No,
say
you
when
don't. As it relates to abortion, you don't believe in that.
Yeah, unless if you cause them to be in a state of
if we're talking about private property, yes, I think that you should have the ability to determine that. I don't think that the government, right, is going to be determined in terms of what's authorized based upon just what the current law is. I would obviously put a description of what I think the law should look like.
You would just do an ought statement. So even when we talk about a situation like this, can any random person come across the border and buy a piece of land and start paying federal, state, income tax, everything across the board?
If someone comes to the country undocumented, I believe they should be given a pathway to citizenship, right, where they can go through the legal process where they don't have to leave the country. So under my view, given that is the case that the current law is set up, given that the law is currently set up in that way, if someone come to the country in that type of context, where yes, they would be able to stay in the country and they should be given a pathway to citizenship.
No, answer my question.
Yes, undocumented migrants can buy private property. And since that is the case, you shouldn't have an issue with them infringing upon other private property rights because it's their own.
Are they able to pay federal, state, and income tax?
They pay all of those, yes.
Wait, they pay all of those.
Undocumented immigrants
every single
paid
one.
Over $100 billion in taxes.
Wait, no, every single undocumented immigrant, if we're talking about
that wasn't your argument. That was not your argument.
If we're talking about this, is this typically...
Every single U.S. citizen doesn't pay that.
Wait, Jaden, if we're talking about this situation, is it typically normal for undocumented immigrants to pay property tax and be able to have all of these situations taken care of?
They don't own property typically.
Wait. Oh, they typically don't own property. So with these situations...
but that wasn't your argument. It was whether or not they can. The answer is yes.
Since he thinks I always meet people. So here would be my point. If you want undocumented immigrants to pay more in taxes, if you give them a pathway to citizenship where they don't have to leave the country, they would pay more in taxes.
Yeah, I don't believe that they should be here because if they're an undocumented immigrant, we do not know what type of background they're coming from. They could be gang affiliation and other situations that can infringe upon other people's negative.
So undocumented immigrants are multiple times as likely to commit violent crime, drug crime, property crime in the United States comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens, along with the fact that if we reference undocumented immigrants, the best way in order to ensure that they're going to go through the context of the vetting process is providing them a pathway to citizenship where they don't have to leave the country. Otherwise, they have an incentive to stay in the country undocumented, even given that there isn't even given that they aren't allowed to stay in the country under the context of the law, because they want to come here for a better life, so they would pick exploitation over deportation.
Proper situation. Yeah, I would just say then if they want to come through the proper way, I would just say how the ought statement should be in the situation is they should fill out the paperwork in their home country. I do not care if there's a drug war going on in their country. When we look at Mexico or any situation like this, we do not have a causal obligation. If they want to be able to come over here and use private property and other resources, then at that point they would have to go through the situation. If you're going to give like the justifications that they're not likely as much as Americans to commit these horrible actions, that isn't the problem here. The problem is going to be that they're infringing upon people's negative rights or other people that actually have a causal obligation in the United States instead of them.
Okay,
So
would that
if
be
a
true for
child is
people who go state by state? Like if someone goes from California to Nevada,
No,
is
they're
that same thing true?
still going to be from the United States. It's not going to be the same
Why is that
situation.
any
This is-
distinct?
Yeah, this is going to be from a different type of country. So we wouldn't have like a causal obligation to Gaza.
Wait,
with
what
the
causal
situa-
obligation do I have living in California for someone who's in Nevada?
Yeah, I would just say that if you are paying your property tax, this is going to be the situation for your own state. When it comes to this, I don't agree with like most social programs. I would have no problem with abolishing them.
Okay, so you want to get rid of Social Security, get rid of Medicare, get rid of
Yes.
Medicaid, get rid of
Social Security
basically
after- yep.
every single system
Yep,
for people
Social
who
Security
are.
after Congress has actively put their hands into the cookie jar, I would rather like do an odd statement where it becomes like a 401k or other situations.
So
after
to
Congress puts
clarify,
their
he's
hands-
totally okay with increasing childhood poverty.
Parker-
He's totally okay with increasing poverty
Parker-
after the fact that people retire. He's totally okay with
Wait,
like
Parker, let me
decreasing
finish
quality
my
of life and standard of living.
Wait, yeah. I mean, if that's really
Wait,
what
Parker,
you
hold up a second. Let me finish here because if we're looking at the situation of Social Security after Congress put their hands in,
Go ahead.
his microphone fucked up.
Oh, I
wait, it
muted
became
him.
Oh,
I did it again
it became a
and
giant-
again.
that's funny.
Go ahead. Jaden, go ahead.
You there? Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say. I mean, if his argument here is that migrants aren't paying much into the system and are reaping the benefits of private services, why does that matter if you want to eliminate said services to begin with?
Wait, my argument isn't that it's going to be infringing upon the private property of the United States.
You said that they were reaping the benefits of
Yeah,
these
they're
services.
reaping the benefits of the property of the United States if they're coming over
US
here.
is not property.
Yes, I'm going to classify it as
The US is
property.
not okay, well,
Do you want
don't
me to
because it's
define-
not private
wait,
property.
I can define this for you, and then if
No,
you
you
have a problem
can't.
with how, yes, I can. If you want me to define this,
Okay, who owns the United States? Let's
yeah,
start
I would
there.
just say that the people of the United States owns the
people
United
do
States.
not
Hello,
own-
I
no.
own. So then
You,
I
the
own the United
people-
States, and I get to authorize people to come into the
Yeah.
country, right?
Wait, yeah, I'm gonna just classify this as we own this, and other people cannot inherently infringe unless if they go through the an audit. The audit here is going to be
so the
them
current
going
legal
through
process. So if
background.
the current legal process took 99 years, you would say people have to go through the 99 years.
Yep, I do not care. We do not have a causal obligation.
Dude, that's an unhinged take. Dude, just
Wait,
because the
but
law
you know
is this
what?
way means it should be that way. Right? Is that your view?
Wait, no, my view is going to be the
Oh.
causal act. I've already explained this to you, and you can't argue against it, Parker.
Wait, if there's an unjustified law, should there be a punishment for that law?
Oh, should there be a punishment
No.
for that law? Wait, yes. If there's
Yes?
an unjustified law. Wait, define this. An unjustified law.
If there's
based
an
off the
unjustified law under your own perspective, should there be a punishment for that law?
No.
No. Okay, so is there an unjustified law specifically that forces it to be 99 years to go through the legal process?
Yeah, this is going to be.
Is there an unjustified law where it takes 5
not
to
what
7
straw
years
man
on average and lots of
We can
times over
define
$10,000?
Yeah, we can look at the
Yes,
situation.
unjustified law.
we can
Nice,
look-
thank you.
Wait, we can look at unjustified laws right now on the records, like seatbelts. But even when we look at the situation,
What?
yes, seatbelts are infringing upon
You're a
people's negative rights to
libertarian, aren't
private- Yes.
Oh my
I
God,
already-
these seatbelt mandates! How dare they? Oh wait, actually, how about this? What about drunk driving?
Drunk driving, yeah, this is inherently putting other people's private property at risk.
Oh, so you do think it's putting you would say only if it's putting yourself at risk.
Yeah, if it's only putting yourself, let's just say if you're on your own private property driving around, drinking and driving, that this isn't inherently going to infringe upon other people's negative rights. I do not care.
Wait, so you don't care about drinking and driving so long as
You're on your own private property. If you're a
Okay,
consenting
okay,
adult
sure.
and you consent for the action,
Are you
I do
against
not care.
driver's licenses?
yeah.
Huh?
Are you against driver's licenses?
I would just say, yeah.
You are. Is that not
Yeah, if
infringing
you're
upon
on-
other people's
yeah,
private
if you're
property
on-
rights?
yeah,
I
I
mean,
would just say-
if a 10-year-old has the right to drive a car, does that not infringe upon
Yep,
my
I
right
would
to
just say that-
own?
Yep, I would just say that if the 10-year-old is driving on their parents' property, they're able to.
I
do
didn't
this.
specify that. I just
Well,
said in
okay, so
general
then
because the
he-
license would not specify whether or not it's on
Okay,
the
cool.
fucking driveway or on
Yeah,
the
so if we're
highway.
looking at license, this is typically going to be applicable to the public roads.
Right,
so
but
I'm
they
gonna
don't
say-
limit that.
Oh,
No, it
okay,
applies to
cool.
public and private roads. What the fuck?
Okay, so private roads, if I'm on my own private property driving without a license, let's just say I own a farm with 300 acres. If a police officer
But
pulls
according
up-
to you,
Hold on a second, Jaden,
public
Jaden.
property is private.
Yeah, public property is private to anyone that is outside of this country.
What?
Yes, if you are some random person we don't have a causal obligation to, then at that point you
What is
don't have the
that?
rights.
This is
Yes.
his preferred version of reality.
Wait, if the kid's on their own private property with like the parents, yeah, I would just say that the parents have the
No,
causal
on public roads, dude.
Wait, no, I at no point it said that. a
What about on
10-year-old
private
can-
roads?
Yeah,
Wait,
on
private roads?
private roads, yeah.
So is this owned by an individual or a group of people?
It's
Sure.
owned by a group of people.
Oh, a group of people, so they all have equal say?
No, they don't all have equal say. They have
Oh,
different
okay,
levels
so
of
then
ownership.
wait, so then there's one person that owns it then?
There's different
Yeah,
levels
a
of
person per
ownership.
mile. How about that?
Yeah, I would just say that when it comes to this private road, it's the parents' responsibility to make sure that the kid isn't in a state where they can't give true informed consent. So when we're talking about the situation at hand, if it's on public location or public property, that is still privatized to the American.
Actually, I have a question. Should federal laws specifically exist to restrict Jeffrey Epstein from on his island having
a good question.
having certain conditions in which would have different age of consent?
Yeah, I just find that whole situation with Epstein immoral because
So
children
would
can't
there be
get-
federal laws under your worldview?
Yeah, I would just say that the federal laws, when it comes to the situation, is going to be that children can't give true informed consent. The parents have the causal obligation. I would just say
federal
that.
laws. So you need federal taxes for those laws, correct?
Yeah, I would just say that it would be a smaller form to protect private property and to make sure ensure
But
that
you're okay with
people
some
don't-
level of taxation, right?
Yeah, the
Oh, so
bare
then-
minimum.
Oh,
to
you're
protect
totally.
private
He's
property.
totally okay with theft, dude. That's theft.
Wait,
How
I
old
can
are you?
specify this.
That's
Me, I'm
that's
22.
theft, bro. That's theft.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
dude, that's,
even when we
you-
talk
you-
about-
you-
wait,
all
no,
taxation is theft.
Wait, I can explain this to you, Parker, since you don't know philosophical. So when we talk about
Hold
being
on,
able to
that's
protect,
clearly your position.
philosophical.
That's clearly your position, though.
wait,
It's
I'm
called
saying,
philosophy.
yeah, philosophical or
Are you an
philosophy.
ANCAP, minarchist? What are you? Like in terms
Oh,
of
that doesn't
ideological
matter.
beliefs?
Wait, that doesn't matter.
Are you an ANCAP
Because
or
if I-
minarchist? Which one?
There's more than just those two.
Which one? Well, then which one are you?
And what are you?
I don't have to say that.
Can you answer though?
I mean,
Yeah, I
some
do not-
consistency
I'm not
in your
required.
worldview would be nice.
Honestly, if
to
you
know.
don't
Yeah,
want,
I do.
if you don't want to answer, I'll kick you.
Oh, okay, cool. I would just say I'm more on the very minimum. I wouldn't say I'm on the complete end cap yet, but bare minimum.
Okay, that's not an answer. So are you a
Wait,
minarchist or
wait, yeah.
you're
Wait,
an
if you
ANCAP? So
said
you're an
end
ANCAP?
Wait, I would just say I'm more leaning towards an end cap, a limited government.
Okay, but not completely. So like, what type of role do you
Yes,
think for
it'll
government should
protect-
exist? Because
yeah.
you said there should be federal laws.
Yeah, when it comes to federal law to be able to protect private property, this is going to be having the military to make sure that other countries cannot.
You sound
come
like a
in.
minarchist.
No, because if we look at ANCAP and at the same time minarchists, they have very similar situations, but they're very different.
What's the distinction?
Yeah, if we're talking about how they see ideology, like John Locke, or who they look at when it comes to like the philosophical, if they agree
be,
with social
be
contracts.
specific. What's the distinction?
Yeah, I would just say one of the biggest distinctions is going to be social contracts.
You think that it's common for minarchists to believe in social contracts?
No, I'm going to say how they different social contracts.
What's the specific distinction?
Yeah, social contracts, and one is going to be inherently believing since you're a part of a society, there's going to be certain types of contracts that you're going to agree to. The other one's going to be more on the lenient side, saying
He
unless
doesn't know
there's
the
some type of-
distinction. What specific
Wait,
distinction?
Yeah, I'm giving you one of them.
What's the other?
Yeah, I've already given you one.
What's the other?
Wait, you're asking for more than one then?
Yeah, if we're making a distinction,
Oh, okay,
you
cool.
give
So I
one,
would just
and then
say
how
that-
it's different from the other.
Yeah,
That's
do-
what
do-
makes
yes,
it
Yeah, do,
distinct.
do you need us to dumb it down for you?
No, I already explained this to you guys. When it comes to the situation, one's going to agree with more of a social contract versus the other. I'm keeping this very simple because Parker, you can't argue against a causal. You need a 2v1 in here.
What?
Oh, I can mute if
can't.
you need.
Wait, you said I can't argue one-on-one. Is that what you're arguing?
Yeah, you can't argue against one-on-one. You have
Jaden was already on the live before you got here.
Wait, no. If we're talking about the situation,
No?
I was first live. Wait, if we're talking about this, Jaden was on.
Jaden was on my live before you.
Jaden was on
You
here,
had no
but
problem when I was talking to you.
But even
Well, you
when
did.
it
You couldn't debate me. But
No.
if you want me to mute, I can do
wait,
that.
Jaden, I have no problem with debating you, but if this is going to be a
Well, then don't
2-on-1,
complain about a
you actually
2v1.
argue
Wait,
against
why
my
is he
point.
complaining about a 2v1 when he decided to come on when there was a 2v1?
Oh, okay, cool.
Right, you
so then-
understood that.
Wait,
You accepted
Parker,
the risk.
Argue against my causal obligation, Parker.
Why would you just randomly complain about 2v1 after you just got
If you
dunked
want,
on?
okay, I have no problem. No, he didn't stomp on me because I've been very consistent when
said
it
you
comes to
got
a
dunked
causal
on.
obligation.
You haven't because it doesn't.
Wait, if you inherently cause someone to be in a state of dependence, you have a moral obligation to, based off your actions.
Right,
Argue
but
against
you
that.
negated that as it relates to U.S. citizen children born to migrant parents.
Yeah, the parents did an immoral action. With them doing immoral action, we do not have a causal obligation to their
You
children.
think the same thing about abortion.
Yes, when it comes to abortion, the only times that it's applicable is going to be SA where the mother didn't give true informed consent, or if the mother's life's in immediate danger. How is this
That's not what I
consistent?
asked. Though. But how is that not a rights violation on the fetus then? If that's your point?
Yeah, I would just say with like the initial actions, we're just going to be removing them from their private property. The mother doesn't have a causal obligation because she didn't consent to the initial action. When it comes to the inherent situation where the
Yeah,
mother's
I
life's
mean,
in immediate danger, this is going to be a whole different other situation.
Right, but a child didn't consent to being born in the United
Yeah, I
States
would
all
just
the
say-
same.
Yeah, this is going to be the neutral act instead of the immoral act. Do you want me to explain that to you?
Sure.
Okay, when it comes to a neutral act, you haven't.
No, I don't need you to define what those words
Okay.
mean. I'm talking about in terms of this hypothetical here. How is that a
Okay.
negative act for a child to be born in the
Yeah, I
United
would just say
States? to US
infringing upon
parents?
someone. Oh, yeah, this is going to be the negative act when you're infringing upon someone that you have caused to be in a state of dependence based off of your consensual actions. So if you sleep with someone consensually, understanding that there's an outcome that can take place, you guys are both acknowledging that you can't infringe upon them because you put them into the state of dependence.
No,
When
I
it comes to
I had no clue that I could get someone pregnant.
Oh, okay, crazy.
I'm serious. I had no clue.
Oh, okay, then I would just say that you haven't met the term where you can give true informed consent, and I would recommend you getting off of TikTok. But when it comes to the
Okay.
situation at hand, Freedom,
Wait. So you're saying that like as long as we say that like we didn't know that we can get pregnant, we can get an abortion?
yeah, I would just say if you do not meet like the threshold to give true informed consent, you shouldn't be doing these immoral actions. Your parents have a causal
No,
obligation.
I'm just saying
to
in
do
that context, would we be able to get an abortion if we just say we had no clue how to get pregnant? You know?
Yeah, I would just say no.
No. So it's not about informed consent and like.
Wait, if we're talking
choosing
about
to do it
informed
based upon
consent-
that. So like
Wait,
if
if we're
you
talking about-
don't know that you can get pregnant, you'd still have an obligation.
Wait, if we're talking informed consent or true informed consent, which one here?
I'm asking you under either. Which one
Oh,
do you
okay, so
need in
true
order for
informed
you to
consent,
specifically,
yeah, I
under
would-
your view, grant that
true
there's an
informed
obligation?
consent. Yeah, true informed consent.
Okay, you need true informed consent. Okay, so
Yep.
then if you don't know that abortion, or if you don't know that sex leads to pregnancy, then you don't have to.
Yeah,
You don't have an
I would
obligation,
just-
correct?
Yeah, I would just say how it ought to be is your parents explain to you that if you do this action, this is going to be like the sex talk. It's going to be an odd
So
statement.
given that your parents never did that,
Yeah, I would just say that your parents did something immoral and
sure.
that-
The parents did something immoral, but would it be wrong for you to get an abortion?
Yes.
Why?
No, it wouldn't
No?
be wrong. I would just say
It wouldn't
that
be
the-
wrong. Yo, everyone, if you
Well,
just
you have
want to
to
get
say
legal access to abortion, all you have to say is, I had no clue that I could get pregnant.
Yeah, I would
I had no
advocate for-
clue.
Parker, I would just say
I
how it
didn't
ought to
know.
be.
I didn't know that could happen.
I thought I wasn't fertile.
Wait, I would just say how it ought to be is if you do this immoral action and lie about it, then at that point you should be punished if we find out.
Okay, so I mean, how are they going to find out that you knew?
Yeah, I would just say that I would have a system set up in place where this is going to be something that they learn.
This is going to be something. Okay, but let's say that they just didn't listen or pay attention.
Oh, they didn't listen. So like I gave them the resources and kid being kid didn't go to like the situation.
They never
I
heard.
would just say Yeah, I would just say that how
Or they
it ought to
or
be
they
is gonna-
forgot. Or they forgot.
Yep. I'm going to say how it ought. Yep, I'm going to say how it ought to be is going to be some type of class that they are required to sign up and be able to go through until they do this action. They cannot do.
So prior to the point that exists, clearly under your view, no one should go to
Yep.
prison who says that they don't know, right?
Yeah, I would just say this is going to be something that we teach them young. I would
Yeah,
just say
everyone.
roughly.
So as of now, since there's no re-education camp that this guy's advocating for, as long as you say right that you
Wait,
just
this is
didn't know
sexual
you could get
education?
pregnant, you can get an abortion under this guy's
Wait,
worldview.
this is sexual
This guy-
education.
All right, how do you enforce this, by the way? This
Yeah,
class
would-
you speak of.
Yeah, this class, I would just say that this is going to be typically on like the local level. This can be ran by the church or other situations at hand.
Church.
By the children diddling churches.
Wait, you can say churches diddling. This is going to be like the minority case. Yes, there's going to be the bad apples.
But that wasn't what I asked, though, is how do you mandate this? Because the
Yeah,
church
I
can
would-
just opt not to do this. And then now
Yeah,
you've
I
got
would-
tens of thousands of kids, millions perhaps, that aren't receiving this education.
Yeah, do you understand how it ought to be statement, or do you want me to explain?
You're not
this?
explaining how they would do
Yeah,
this,
I would just
how they
advocate.
ought to do
Yeah,
this.
I would just advocate.
Okay, so basically just this is hope chesting here. You're saying that
No.
somebody ought to do it because I feel this way with no real
No.
coherent method
Because
as
if
to
we're-
achieving
wait,
that
if
end
we're
game.
talking axiom here. My axiom is going to be the causal, but
See,
it's,
this is why your type,
Jaden,
libertarian. Excuse me, stop talking,
Jaden,
please. This
I'm
is
trying to explain this.
this is
You
why
are interrupting
libertarians
me.
don't. I
You
don't
are
give a shit.
interrupting me.
Buddy,
I'm
I'll
trying to
turn my
explain
microphone up and blast your
Yeah,
guys'
I can
eardrums
also-
out.
yeah, I
Listen,
can
buddy.
also turn mine up. I
Excuse
have no
me,
problem with
I
this.
don't give a shit, bro. Okay, this is why libertarians aren't in
parents'
politics, are not
responsibility-
policymakers, because they're
Look at
ideologues
New
who don't
Hampshire.
have a fundamental understanding of how
Look at
to
New
get from
Hampshire.
point A to point B and actualize your policies. At some
So the
point, way,
parent-
shape, or form, taxation mandates have to
Minimum.
come into place for you to achieve the kind of policies you want to happen. That ought to happen. That's not the case. In fact, your argument runs into a complete contradiction in whatever worldview you hold
That's
because
a
you
lie.
cannot enforce it. There's no method to enforce it, and you don't believe in the enforcement. You can say you want the world to eat whatever the fuck, think whatever the fuck, live however way you want, as so long as there's no way to actualize that, your policies don't mean
Wait,
diddly
Jaden,
squat.
I can explain this to you. So when it comes to
No,
the
you
situation,
can't.
Yes, I
Shut
can.
up. Can we move
When
on?
it comes to private schools or private Christian
Kick him
schools,
mid-sentence.
wait, if you're gonna kick me, this just shows that you're running away. It's very simple. When it comes to private schools for churches or anything, they already had this situation at place where they don't take grants in certain cases from like state or federal to fund this. This is going to be private schools that do this action. We can already have this without having enforcements, and we can look at New Hampshire, for example.
So yeah, if you don't have public education, then you can't ensure that the private education was there for any of those students.
Cool, then I would just
given that
advocate
that's
for
the
the
case.
parents to
Well, then you're
responsibility.
arguing that there shouldn't be a federal law restricting this from being the case because it would be
Yep,
dependent
and I
upon a
would
certain
just say
state.
then I would just say that it's the parents' responsibility to make sure that the children are able, at the point of being able to give true informed consent. I would just set the threshold at like 18.
Okay, given that it is the case that they never learned from their parents, you're saying that they should be held accountable
their parents should-
regardless.
Yeah, I would just say that the child would be able to get an abortion, but if we find out at a later point that they did know this action, then at that point they should be punished.
Well, okay. Well, they would just say that they didn't know or they forgot or like something
and
happened.
if they forgot, then that's not
By the
on
way,
us. That would be on
yeah.
him.
Sure. You could say it's on them, but like then they would legally be able to get access to an abortion. Now, practically everyone would be able to get
Yeah,
access
I
to an
would just
abortion. Now
punish
it's an
them afterwards.
unenforceable law because any court case that has this certain scenario, the lawyer is not going to take it to case because they know that they're going to get fucking shit on.
Wait, no, this is false because when it comes to protecting private property, this is going to be the same applicable situation. I would just say that yes, because I believe that you self-govern yourself when it comes to like the NAP or any actions like this.
Okay, so self-governance is
I
the
don't see
stance
that's
here.
a-
How does a court system or prison system exist in your libertarian
Yes.
utopia? So they
Yes.
do, but you don't want taxes to fund them.
Yeah, I said the bare minimum when it comes to be able to protect private property. So like the court system is going to be like the bare bone dry system. And when it comes to like the situation of prisons, everything like this, yeah, this is also going to be there in place to be able to stop people from infringing upon your negative rights because they've done these acts.
By bare
What about
minimum,
laws
it
that
could be
don't
40
infringe on
minutes.
negative rights?
Yeah, but by
On
bare
positive
minimum,
rights?
it could be 40 minutes for law enforcement to get there, right?
Yeah.
Wait, if we're talking bare minimum, this is going to be applicable into like the city's situations. When I say bare minimum, this is going to be what is
typically or atypically the situation that is going to be needed. So in the town I am, there's a total of 70,000 people here. Guess how many police officers we have?
Yeah, well, cities don't run prisons; states do.
Oh, okay.
States and
So
counties do.
if we're talking private, or at the same time, if we're talking public, because if we're talking prison systems, there's going to be the federal.
I don't know. You use them interchangeably. You call it the
Wait.
United States private property.
Yes, it's going to be private property to the citizens, not for other people.
But U.S. citizens born to migrant parents wouldn't qualify.
Wait,
for that.
if their parents did something immoral, they do not have.
It is not immoral to cross
Yes.
the border.
Wait, it is immoral to cross the border without going through the right process, and they ought.
Why is that? No, that's illegal.
the odd
No.
statement-
No.
the odd
Process
statement I gave
is a
you-
legal argument, not a
Wait,
moral
no.
argument.
Wait, if the law was
You
immoral,
are appealing to the law. If you
No,
call them
Hayden,
illegals, stop.
because-
If you call them
wait.
illegals, if you're saying they didn't go through a proper process, that is appealing to legality,
Wait, if
not
the law was-
morality.
Wait, no. It's
What is the
appealing to
moral
morality.
confounder here? Hey, what
Hayden,
is the
because if the law was
stop?
immoral-
What is the moral confounder here? What is the moral
Hayden, if the
violation that
law
they've
was
committed?
immoral, we would go off of the morals here instead of going off of legality. Kind of like the
You're
situation
doing
with
that though
slavery.
by calling them illegal. Excuse me, by calling them illegal, by saying that they didn't go through proper channels. That is a legal argument, not a moral argument.
Okay,
You're
I would
using
just
them
say
interchangeably.
aliens then.
What is the moral argument for why it is bad to cross
Yeah,
the
I would
border?
just say aliens. If you want to be so hard on my words, I would just say aliens that are actively crossing the border.
Why is that immoral?
Yeah, I would just say that we do not have a causal obligation to them. They're infringing upon other people's
doesn't make it
negative
immoral. No, they're
rights.
not. No,
Wait,
they're
I'm
not.
explaining this to you. You're interrupting.
They're not.
They're
And if
infringing
it's
upon
if it's a
other
rights
people's
infringement,
private
you're appealing to
property.
legality again.
Wait,
That's an
no,
appeal to
because
legality.
No, because if we're talking
Yes,
about
because laws
Wait.
protect private property rights.
If the law was not there, and then there's people that are trying to enforce that you have the private property, and the law says that you don't, like under communism, who's going to be applicable? In this
Define
situation?
communism.
Wait, okay, communism is going to be where like the workers are going to have as equal say in like the factories.
No,
Yes, if we're talking
no,
about
they
Marx-
No,
own
actu-
the
act-
say.
yeah.
Not
wait,
equal
they have
say.
Wait,
equal
wait,
say.
wait,
They
let's-
have say.
Hold up. Communism is going to be the abolishing of private property. Under that condition, it's a Marxian sense of private property, and that would just essentially mean that there's a stateless, classless, moneyless society. Okay, so that's what communism is. What you're trying to reference is like, say, there's worker control of the means of production. That's actually socialism.
Communism too, if we're looking under Stalin.
I mean, communism.
Yes.
Communism
We're not looking
won't
under
necessarily be.
Wait, if we look at communism under Stalin, the workers have equal say to the
Okay,
people.
but
That,
communism was not solely defined by
achieved
Stalin.
under Stalin.
we're gonna look at communism.
Communism was not achieved by Stalin. Also, I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist, but I am defining the terms for what they are. Communism was not achieved
There's different
under
types of
Stalin.
communism. Yes, if we look at the situation of Russia during like 1920s when Stalin took active power, it became more of a communist society, and how he was actively running communism.
More of a
Yes,
communist.
there's gonna
I
be
don't even know
different-
what this guy's saying.
Wait,
I'm just
yes, more of communism.
incoherent.
Oh, he's
gibberish.
gone.
Yeah, I'm kicking him.
That's
That's
fine
just
by me.
incoherent. He's just gonna yap about communism and like, bro, that's not communism. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you?
Yellow? All right.
Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria to come on the screen. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Let's go on to the
The
next
bar
person.
is really low for that, by the way. Just pick up your knuckles and render an argument. Kids these days.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. By the way, if you want to support us, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of YouTube, as well as you can support us over YouTube Super Chat, everyone. Alrighty.
I used to think that I hated kids, but turns out I just hate the parents.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Confirm.
Oh, they just left.
Okay.
So the next person, only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. Alrighty, let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria to come on the stream. Sorry. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like that stream, everyone. How many likes do we have on the YouTube? If you're in YouTube chat, let me know. Let me know. Let's try. I think. Okay, actually, I see it now. 1.4 thousand. Let's try to get to 2,000 likes, everyone, on YouTube. Alrighty, let's get the next person up here.
Hmm?
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, was that Parker? Can you do the dance with the pants?
Let's go to the next
What?
person. Only send a guest request if you meet this set of criteria on the screen. Coral, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. It's Jaden.
That's me. Somebody ask about me?
Yeah, they asked who is your co-host today.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a YouTube, by the way? So anyone on YouTube can.
I do. I don't do TikTok streams in there, but it's just my name, Jaden LeBron VO. You can find me there.
Nice. Maudie, thank you so much for the $4.20 for. No, we have to get to 7,000 likes. We'll see. Yo, what's
I'm
up?
gonna
How
go
old are
live
you?
after this.
Base.
28.
Do you support Donald Trump?
God, no, I voted for Kamala. But you got
Nice. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. 1.5 thousand, everyone. Keep liking the stream. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh my god, Parker has a mangina. Oh my
Holy
god.
crap, Lois!
Oh my god.
Holy crap!
So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone.
Ugh.
It's amazing.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Dupixent is an add-on treatment for COPD that is not long.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request.
I
if
was
you meet,
listening to that.
only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Sage, thank you for the $2. Thank you. I'm trying to get another guest request up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 26, about to be 27.
Do you support Donald Trump? Do you support Donald Trump? Hello?
Keith. I never liked that name.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone.
Keith. There we go.
Yo, what's up? How old are
Mom. I love you.
So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria to come on the stream.
No
All
offense to
right.
all the Keiths out there, but it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me, you know. Keith.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Justin.
Only send a guest request if you do meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Alrighty. Only send a guest request if you meet. Oh, shit.
Oh.
Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Wendy, thank you so much for the $5. And Amanda, thank you for the $10. Thank you. Eric, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Eric. Good some W's for
Nice.
Eric in the comment section. Alrighty, let's go on to the next person. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Boards.
79.
Do you support Donald Trump?
No.
He's not 79.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
50,000.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Sure.
If you could go back in time and either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
Okay. Wendy, thank you for the $5.
W. All right, everyone, give it a second. Anna, thank you so much for the $1. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry to hear that, by the way. Thank you so much, Anna. I really appreciate it. Made me smile. Thank you for the $5. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old? Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are
Emphasis
you?
on 18 plus.
Yo, I'm 25.
Yeah, do you support Donald Trump?
Of course I support Donald Trump, and I can't wait for him to become president in 2028.
Why?
I feel
You're
like he's
joking,
the
right?
best. No, I feel like he's the best candidate, and then he's gonna pass it off to his son, Donald Trump Jr., and then Barron Trump's gonna get the. Is gonna be after his Donald Trump Jr. So it's gonna
I
be a
see.
pretty
You
much.
like dynasties?
So yeah, why do you support Donald Trump in such a way?
Yeah, because he's an actual leader. He actually fights back other leaders. He's not a soy boy like Joe Biden.
What's a soy boy?
A soy boy is when you drink a lot of soy.
So I don't think uniquely Joe Biden drinks a lot of soy.
Are you sure? Why is he always sleeping and falling over his like podiums and stuff like that?
What does that have to do
He
with
doesn't?
soy? And he doesn't?
Yeah, he
Trump
has
fell
lack
asleep
of.
during his trials. He fell asleep during the Pope's funeral. He fell asleep recently during who was
I
he
don't
with?
know, man.
He had another meeting recently with somebody he fell asleep during.
I thought you
But
said he had
also,
a
like,
lack of
just
deficiency or
beyond
something.
Didn't he
that,
fall
just
asleep in
beyond that, the
court,
guy
too?
was, yeah, I mentioned that at first, but the guy was wandering around on the White House roof this morning. He tweeted out randomly that he wanted to get rid of the citizenship for Rosie O'Donnell. This sounds like somebody that's of right mind to you?
So you're honestly saying Joe Biden is more competent than Donald Trump?
Yes, categorically yes.
Can you give me an example?
Sure, Hannibal Lecter endorsed me.
Windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. The climate is going to start cooling. Science just doesn't know it yet.
They're eating the dogs and cats in Springfield.
Batteries and sharks.
If
So
she
what's
wasn't my
wrong?
daughter, I'd be dating her.
So if Donald Trump says he wanted to deport illegal immigrants, why are you guys have concerns if you're not
pivot.
illegal?
Can you address anything that?
Yeah, you're talking
why
about
do we have concerns?
eating
Because
dogs and eating
I
cats.
care about people who are in the country undocumented. If they haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime, I believe they should be given a pathway to citizenship.
Should we put them in fancy hotels and pay for their breakfast?
You're
We
referencing
don't.
asylum
Those are
seekers
refugees.
and fancy hotels. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they get put in 4-star hotels, and we've seen the video. So
You're
you
talking
don't
about
have to lie for
asylum
us.
seekers who are here on a legal pathway.
So you're saying even if they're illegal, they should stay?
If they're undocumented and they have not committed a violent crime or bad crime, I believe they should be given a pathway to citizenship where they do not have to leave the country. Yes.
And you don't see any problem with that?
No problem. Can you tell me the problem?
Yeah, once you break a rule and you don't enter through our country through the legal way, then yeah, you get deported as soon as possible.
That's not what he asked. What's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem?
The problem is it's not fair for other people who wait years and years and years to get in, and then some criminal Mexican or dirty Indian comes in, and then
What
he
the
decides
fuck?
to
You disgusting
decides to
piece
jump
of
the line.
shit. What do you mean you fuck? Did I go over the line? What the fuck?
Who was that gifting him so much?
I don't know. That's crazy. I can't even see a lot of the gifs on TikTok on PC.
Parker, get a fucking job, you little.
Christ. They need to bring back the dunce cap in schools.
I don't even know what that is. Let's go on to the next person. Everyone, only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. We are just looking for some debates.
You know that large pointy cone hat that says dunce on it?
Hello?
Never heard of it. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
What's your birth year?
2005.
Okay. What month?
April. Sorry.
Would you be 20?
Yeah, you'd be 20. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet this set of criteria on the screen. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like this stream. For the 4.3 thousand people here on the TikTok stream, make sure to go over to YouTube. I would really appreciate it. Parker did a job on YouTube. I'd really appreciate if you do that. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah, hey, I'm 18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
That was me.
Oh. Oh, I didn't even realize. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, Parker.
What? It was Evil Dean. I didn't even know. Yo, what's up? Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump and meet the set of criteria on the TikTok stream. Alrighty, everyone.
You people sicken me.
All right, give it a second, everyone. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you... Oh, as soon as they join, I hit the X.
Aw, poo.
Alrighty, everyone. Let's go to the next person. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
55.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Why so?
Because he is the greatest president ever alive.
Why so?
Nuh-uh.
What's that?
Why do you think
He's not even the best president of this century?
Yeah.
Hey, that's my opinion. I believe he is the greatest ever.
Why do you think that?
Because he has that orange toned skin. It just glistens in my eyelids. And I just love him. I love the way he shits in his diapers. I love all.
I can't argue with that.
go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria to join the stream. Everyone.
You've been calling it the Scream lately. Are you losing it?
Yeah, I think I am. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
You want to scream out loud?
Please play Farm Sim, bro. Please.
Oh no. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet this set of criteria on the screen. Everyone. I'm trying my hardest.
I know you tiptoed around that one.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 19.
Oh, you just left.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the. I'm just giving up. I'm giving up.
Let's call it the Scream at this point.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Sure.
Let's go to the next person, everyone. Not even gonna try it. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
All right, everyone. I don't know what to do. We're gonna get someone up here, hopefully.
If it comes down to it, you want to talk to the president.
We'll see. We'll see. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah.
I'm 25.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah.
Why so?
I just think he's a good guy, good president, does a good job.
Good guy.
I just think he's doing really good for the country, you know.
Like,
we're in a better spot. Oh, he's actually doing something, you know. What's Kamala do?
Kamala. And like, no, I'm asking, what is he doing? Can you answer?
I'm asking what's Kamala done.
You didn't answer
She's
my
not an
question.
office holder.
Yeah. Can you answer what did? And also, I can reference the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, can you tell me something Donald Trump has done?
Yeah, I think he's helped with the border compared to what it was when Biden was here. Well, I just want to touch back on what you said with the border. Why do you think undocumented people should just be allowed to?
What I just said?
Yeah, why do you think undocumented immigrants should just be able to legally?
Think of the $10 and Wendy. Think of the $5. Thank you. Why should they be able to come to the country undocumented and then get a pathway to citizenship? Because
Yeah.
I don't think that they're a threat to the safety and security of the country.
Okay, so you think that not having a secure border is okay?
I think it's a secure border if someone is in the country and they haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime. I see no issue with that.
How do you know that though? If like you know they're just here.
Oh, we give them a pathway to citizenship to ensure that, like, we know.
How do you know that they haven't committed a crime though?
We've had
Background checks.
Background check.
Yeah, we can run DNA background check, forensic files.
I got you. Okay. Well, you have a good day.
Oh, okay. Well, take care. That was easy.
Okay, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone.
Christ.
Mods, ban them if you see them. So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like the stream, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What is this? Two beautiful lovers.
Okay. Let's go on the next individual. If you want to support us, always Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support us over YouTube Super Chat. Let's go on to the next individual. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Alrighty, let's go to the next person. I think I have an extra 30 minutes, everyone. Maudie, thank you for the $4.20. Thank you so much. Yes, I have to set it up completely on each account.
Joe Biden, good to see you.
Ducky, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Alrighty, let's go to the next person. Only set a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Alrighty. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
God damn.
It's literally like they have nothing to fucking better to do with their lives. They're fucking absolutely like they have nothing to fucking
Cash App. It has the same effect. I hate when people do that. I hate when people send me money. This guy was here earlier.
Let's go to the next person, everyone. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. I'm trying to get the next person up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Please play Farm Sim with me, Parker.
Oh, no. Oh, I just randomly got an AI thing. It's not sure if it's
Oh.
me. Alrighty. Actually, anyone who doesn't have a profile picture, just gonna not allow on the
That's a
stream.
good call.
I
I usually say anybody with less than 20 followers is a no.
Yeah, I can't click on PC though. It's kind of unfortunate. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Sage, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Oh, Sage, I appreciate it. Don't worry. Thank you.
Parker, do you hate people the way I hate people?
Depends sometimes.
I'm
Yo,
just
what's up? How old are
losing
you?
my faith.
I'm 18.
What's your birth year?
2004.
What's the 88 for?
18? 2004?
Oh, okay.
Definitely does not add up.
Yeah, not very good at math.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Donald
2004
Trump?
too? Yes, I do.
Why do you support Donald
What year were you
Trump?
born?
Because of Aiden Ross and Nelk.
Please tell me you're joking.
Yeah, I'm trolling.
Haha.
So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Okay.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. We're trying to get someone. I really apologize, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
No, but you ought to hit a blinker.
You're 18.
Oh, Peter.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Please, curse him with
Oh my God! Shut up.
So the next person, only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump.
Ugh.
Yo, what's up? How old are you? Yeah, this is just like infinite patience challenge. Like, let's see
Not funny.
let's see how far Parker's patience can go. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's up, Parker? I'm 19.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Oh yeah, dude.
What's your birth year?
January 2006.
Okay, and you said you're 19. Okay, so why do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, sir. Cause he's not a grifter like you guys. He's like a good businessman.
Actually, yeah, he is. The shoes, the watch, parts of his suit, NFTs, hats, shirts,
Yes, sir.
flags.
He's got everything down, you know. Cause when you look at
That's a
Kamala,
grift.
Wait, by the way, if I was grifting, why don't I have like all merch decked out?
because you're trying to hide the fact, it's kind of obvious, you know. Like people like Sid, she donates to you guys, and kind of like, you know, you guys are grifters. It's kind of obvious, dude.
What is grifting?
You're really gonna ask me what's grifting? What is grifting to you?
Yeah, it's dishonestly
You're the one making the
portraying-
proposition.
For me, it's dishonestly portraying a particular position in order to to gain something from it, right? Like it
Yeah,
could be
to gain,
attention,
like-
it could be money, right? And you'd have to be able to specify what do you think it is. Do you think that what do you think I'm doing? Do you think I'm dishonest?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. You're pretty
So,
dishonest.
You think
I'm
I'm
not gonna
actually
lie.
a Trump supporter?
No, not. Well, obviously you're not, dude. That's obvious.
So I'm
But-
not
And
dishonest.
how's it a grift?
No, you are a grifter in the way you're trying to get money through like fucking scams and like.
Hey, listen, shut
Scams?
up. What's the difference between what Parker does and say Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, whatever the rest that Rogues Gallery does?
Yeah, I don't watch
The
any of
Daily
them.
Show.
I don't care. That's not what I asked. Are they not grifters?
No, they're not, dude. They're
So
pretty
how
honest.
are they not?
'Cause
What is
again-
fundamentally different about how they conduct themselves versus Parker?
Okay.
Okay. Well, you may go back to your corner.
You're not letting me speak, dude.
You didn't say anything.
I was thinking, bro. No, dude.
Think harder.
I'm under pressure, but there's two people here.
No,
I'm
you're
under
not.
pressure, dude. Yes, I am, dude.
Shouldn't be that hard. You came in here high and mighty, saying that he's a grifter. You should at least back it up with something.
You know, Parker. You know what, Parker? I don't know why you had that mustache. Do not get it again. Put the light back.
Okay, listen. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, like seriously, like, do you actually think I'm a grifter, or are you just saying that to say it?
No, dude, I'm a fucking troll, dude. I don't know how you did not realize that.
Okay.
Now you're a troll.
Well,
okay.
I mean,
You may go now.
because people come up on the stream and actually do that. That's why, like, I'm always so confused why people are like, "Oh, how do you not know I'm a troll?" Like, I mean, people do that all the time on the live. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, Cookie King mogs you.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Morgan, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I've actually never heard of it. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. We probably got like one more guest. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 25.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I sure do.
Why so?
Because, well, there's a bunch of reasons why I support Donald Trump. It's like, number one, during the Biden-Harris administration, a lot of illegal immigrants were brought in, entered the border. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. So that's why I'm a bit stuttering right now.
You're good.
So a lot of illegal immigrants entered America during their administration. So I wanted Trump to deport all of them because I'm sure many of them were good, but many of them were really like thieves, rapists, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Also,
Can I ask you a question? If you were concerned about them being quote unquote criminals and rapists, one, you voted for a criminal rapist, so you probably should have been concerned there. Two, undocumented immigrants are multiple times as likely to commit violent crime, drug crime, and property crime in the United States comparative to natural-born U.S. citizens. So the idea that they're more likely to harm you or more likely to cause those types of things is ridiculous.
I just want our country to have a border, and I don't want anybody to just walk in. That's why I voted for Trump. Number two, I wanted to protect women's sports. I didn't want trans to be inside sports.
Get the fuck off alive. Don't use that word. That's crazy. I actually have to get off anyway. We have to get off, everyone.
Well,
you're gonna go live, right?
Go live then. Yes, I will. Thanks for having me, Parker.
For sure, for sure.
Thanks.
Have a good live. Have a good live.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. I love everyone so much. For the 7,000 people that are currently streaming right now, I would really appreciate it if you go over to my YouTube channel as well and you check out the videos that I posted. I just posted a video. I think a video posted about an hour ago or so. I'd really appreciate that. Go subscribe there as well. I'll be live tomorrow, probably starting around 5 o'clock, I'm assuming. Maybe I'll start a little bit earlier than that, but we'll see. We'll see. I love everyone so much. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Seriously, I love y'all so much. I will see everyone tomorrow. And good night, everyone. As always, if you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link in the bio. And peace out, everyone. Adrian, thank you so much for the $3. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Charlotte, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Oh, don't worry. I remember you, Charlotte. I remember you, Charlotte. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Charlotte. That really means a lot to me. It really means a lot to me. Don't worry about that. I really appreciate it, Charlotte. Give some W's for Charlotte in the comment section right now, by the way, everyone. For everyone who's still here. And Brittany, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. But yeah, Charlotte, it was really nice to meet you. All right, everyone. Good night. I love y'all so much. Go join Jaden's stream, everyone. Go join Jaden's stream. Spam Parker raid, spam love Parker, and Jaden's stream. Jaden LeBron. Love y'all so much, everyone.